Okay, so I know there has been an update for a while on this channel. I'd say that there's no excuses, but I have a perfectly good excuse. I have a growing family. It was 2 under 2 for the majority of the summer. So actually getting the ability to go out and do anything that's car related or any of the other jazz. Plus, I mean, it was an extremely busy summer and going out and camping and everything. I mean, I have to enjoy myself with my family and friends regardless. Can't always be based around cars. But for the 2 car shows that I did go to, I did end up winning 2 prizes for the big Mercedes. She's a little frosty right now. Unfortunately, it was super cold here in Alberta for the last 2 weeks, so she had to get pushed outside so one of our dailies could be parked inside to make sure that we have a vehicle that would start for sure in case there was any emergencies or just for getting to work in general. Plans are now, obviously, I'm going to try and do some more videos for this year. Hopefully keep a little more consistent. I know I said I was going to last time, but as I said, 2 under 2 makes things super difficult. It's not a bad thing by any means, but it makes things difficult to be able to do anything. But I'm going to actually try and complete a proper trunk setup on the Mercedes. Gonna have to do some valve seals because she does smoke pretty bad, and then attempt to do a valve set as well. And next month or two, just the amount of smoke, it needs to be addressed. And I'm pretty sure the fuel pump is putting in way too much fuel as well, because previously the owner had cranked up the fuel pump before changing the fuel filter. So, and when I took the fuel filter out to change it, it was just pure algae inside the fuel filter housing. So I cleaned it all out and everything else, and it's been running really well since, except for the excessive smoke. So I'll get on top of that. And then unfortunately during the summertime, when the wife was getting in and out of the car, when she ended up closing the door, the window slid down, so the window, I think, fell off the track. So right now I just have it propped up with a piece of paper for when it was outside so that it didn't get full of snow. But I'll be taking the door apart and see if I can fix that as well. For the 1970 Corona, I know there's a bunch of stuff on top of it, but I have been working on it as well. I've just been rearranging the garage because it's been a mess and I can't move in here with the way it was. So a little more organization in here is going to go a long way. But the engine is in. Unfortunately, I found the engine and transmission package that I had bought. The transmission doesn't fit in the tunnel properly. So I'll be taking the transmission off and rebuilding my original transmission and putting it in behind the engine, because the engine is the exact same. It's just the transmission was different. It's going from a Celica to a Corona, where the tunnel and the shifter placement is different. The blue 68 Corona, it ran super well over the summer. Took it back and forth from work just a couple times. Same thing with the 200D. The Mercedes in the car was pretty much my dailies for a good majority of the summer. The fuel pressure regulator had actually crapped out, so it was overfeeding the carburetor, and I think it blew all the seals out, so I ended up getting a rebuild kit for the carburetor, so I'm going to be putting that back together again, because we do have a long trip back down to Cranbrook, and I'm deciding on whether or not we're going to put in the time and effort to get this ready to go for Cranbrook and back, or if we're going to end up taking the 68 Corona again, because I've done it once before with that, and it did really well, minus the water pump. So that'll be another thing that we're going to be deciding in the next little while. And I'll probably end up doing a bunch of brake work on the 68 as well, because I think I have a leaking cylinder. So we'll get into that. Is there anything else that I can think of? Oh, another project, because, you know, people that enjoy cars never have enough projects on their hands. I ended up getting a 1967, I do believe, W108 for free. So, I mean, being for free, you can imagine that it is quite rusty, so it's going to be a long-term project. The rockers are gone. The fenders are pretty bad off the front. The lower half is gone. The doors have quite a bit of rust as well. But I mean, it was for free. It was just a 10-hour round trip and gas money for picking up the car. So, and of course, it had to be right when the cold snap happened in Alberta. So it was a little iffy going up and back, but I did manage to get home all right. So, and unloaded that. So yeah, that'll be coming into the garage in the spring or summer when the snow's gone, and I'll do a proper once over to see what that's going to need it. An initial inspection, trying to turn it over by hand. It's not looking too good. The engine's most likely seized. I was told it was parked running, but that was over 20 years ago. So that'll be another thing to look into, see if maybe I can get something down the cylinders to unlock it and see if I can turn it over by hand with a breaker bar or something like that after it sits for a while. The funny thing is that thing's actually a Eurospec. I think it was imported into Canada in the mid 80s, early 90s. It has all of the service history from Dusseldorf in Germany up until it's 162,000 kilometers, and it's got 186,000 kilometers on the odometer now. So it's quite insane that I was able to even notice that. 4-speed on the floor, and yeah, headlights and everything are in really good shape. Taillights in good shape. The chrome's in really good shape, and all that other fun stuff. So that'll be another fun one. Like I said, that'll be a long-term project. I think it's going to be more of a family project, because my son's getting older enough and he is pretty interested in helping me with putting stuff together. He helped me put together the engine crane behind me, plus the the wheel dollies for the Corona, so I can move around the garage and get better space for doing stuff. But yeah, figured I'd give you guys an update, and sorry it took forever. Hopefully I can put out more stuff. It's been interesting because I'll finish up most of these videos and I'll do all of the editing and splice work on iMovie on my phone because I don't have anything to do it with. But yeah, it's been fun. It'll be nice to see what you guys think, and hopefully I can continue on with this. I'll give you guys once it warms up a bit more, I'll give you guys a proper walk around of the W108 and see how bad that thing is. But yeah, till next time. Thanks, guys.